Hello and welcome to Acolyte Insights Explosion Network's Up Show, where we break down and discuss each and every episode of the Disney Plus original Star Wars series, The Acolyte. My name's Dylan Blight, and joining me to discuss, as always, Ashley Obley.
Hey Dylan, excited to be here. And if the internet was thirsty for Crimea last week, there's a lot of water this week.
A lot of water. That's right. The water.
Yep.
Yeah. Firstly, back to the dual titles this week. This week's title was Teach Corrupt. Yeah. Directed by Hanelle M. Culpepper. Synopsis was On a Distant Island, unsettling questions about identity and destiny arise. What do you think of this week's episode?
Yeah, another good episode. Obviously, it's a little less action-packed than last week's. A little bit more talky. Obviously, I feel like the best part of the episode is Osha and Crimea kind of like back and forth, and him attempting to corrupt her, which is enjoyable to watch, despite it not being an ethically good thing.
Are we calling him Crimea, or like, because that's not his real name? Like,
I don't know.
Well, that was the fake name he was using for that character he was playing.
Yeah, I think the word going around is he's the stranger.
Yeah, like we don't actually have a name for him currently.
Okay, we'll
just for clarifying. Yeah, like Crimea was a character within the show.
We don't know
within the show. It'd be really weird if after all the time he goes, "Ha, double twist. That was my real name, motherfucker."
Yeah. I'll let you in on the real secret.
Yeah. I really enjoyed the episode. I've seen, again, is that whole thing, I've seen a lot of complaints about it, being short and not a lot happening this week. I don't think that's, like, I think...
I've seen a lot of complaints about the episodes being short in general. And maybe they could spend a little bit more time on character development and that kind of stuff, but...
I mean, they just spent 38 minutes by my count on character development. Was that not what?
Well, maybe if we cared more about Yord and Jackie, and those other random Jedi that got killed last week,
I mean, I didn't care about the random. I don't need to know about the random Jedi. We cared enough about Yord and Jackie. There's entire fan bases there was already Yord and Jackie fan cams out there before they died.
That's true.
Like, let's not.
I tell you what, going through the comments last week and seeing people react to those deaths, we've made those people their entire personalities in a couple of weeks.
Yep.
I mean,
you have one side of the internet saying that this show sucks, no one's watching it, and no one cares, and then you have the other side where people really grabbed onto like a bunch of the characters in the show, but in particular Jackie and Yord, and then we're really distraught when they died. So, like, to say that no one cares about the show when I've got people being like, no, it's like people care.
Yeah, they do.
Cared enough to have all these fan accounts already set up and whatever else. So, and just to get this out of the way, just in case you were like, maybe one of them survived. No, here's a close-up shot of the corpses.
Here's their bodies days later. I don't know. This episode has like a weird sense of time because
that's a problem with
Sol and May seem like they've picked up like right after the last episode, but at least some time has passed with Osha and the Stranger.
This is the problem with this when you start doing this stuff. It's like, obviously the Stranger and Osha have jumped into a ship and traveled somewhere. That's taken time, and then they've spent at least a day or two together on said island. Meanwhile, everything happening with Sol would have taken place within a couple hours following last week's episode.
Yeah.
Like, and it actually, all the stuff with Vanessa Rowe as well would have taken place
reasonably quickly.
Reasonably, because obviously they get there straight after he leaves. So, yeah, it's just all the stuff with the unknown island. Is
would you like? Oh my god, the Last Jedi Island?
No,
didn't look anything like it at all.
No, didn't look anything like it.
You go.
I would have heard a fucking porg.
Yeah. Well, they put a different kind of beach creature there. They just brought porgs back.
Could have. I mean, so they're on an island where cortosis is able to be mined. That's the takeaway, right? Now, I've already seen people, and none of this is, I have no idea about any of this because it's from like legacy Star Wars stuff I don't know about. They're like, I've already seen people be like, man, there was an island in that in Legacy, like Darth Bane or whoever the fuck went there because it was really hard to inhabit, but they got cortosis from there or some shit like that. So people are already like, jumping into the theory hole for that one.
Yep.
And they can go ham. I don't know I don't think any of that's going to be a thing. I think it's just, hey, he's camped out on a planet where he can mine cortosis because the helmet, I don't know.
Yeah.
That's his thing. I don't know. He's got a cool swimming pool for nudists. I don't know. So
it's a natural reef.
Natural reef. There you go.
Natural swimming hole.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if you want to, like, obviously other stuff with the Stranger and Osha is the highlight of the episode, and the majority of the episode is the two of them. Memes are plentiful, of course. Seduction to the dark side, in its fullest form. Seduction.
Fullest.
Yeah. Fullest, yeah. I mean, after everyone started thirsting on Manny Jacinto after last week, when the episode starts with him just stripping off naked, I'm like, you've got to be fucking kidding me.
They knew. They knew.
Like, are you for real? Like, are you added in this week by week or you playing? No, I was like, people are going to love this. And they even left in the shot. And don't tell me that was not left in on purpose. Osha even has a little side eye down there. You know what I mean?
Like, she just, in case he was tacking anything down there that was extra dangerous,
Yeah, it looked dangerous, I reckon. So, I mean, I've never seen such. I think that's the most adult content I've seen in Star Wars. I can't think of anything else. I'm pretty sure there's.
I mean, the closest would be layering the bikini, but that's about it.
Does that count though? Like, I don't know. Anakin has sex.
That's just is the standard. That's how little they've done this sort of thing.
Yeah, it's like Star Wars gets a hint of sexuality about it, like in a non-like, I don't know, putting a girl in a bikini and a chain sort of way. Yeah, and it's and it's sort of weird. But anyway, what do you make of all this? You've got the Stranger bringing Osha to his island. Well, obviously May knows where it is, and we know that now because we know that like she's traveled there on her own accord to meet him there. So,
we assume this is the island that she went to episode 1.
Yeah. Yes. Like it looks exactly the same. So she knows how to get there. So that's if we're looking ahead 2 episodes time, presuming next week is of course the flashback, which 110% is. That she's gonna be able to tell him Soul where to go, I guess. But back and forth. I like the fact he puts up a guardrail. OH&S is an important thing for his little Sith cave. He's got.
He might drink, so he doesn't want to accidentally fall off.
Yeah, I mean that was my favorite thing, to be honest. I feel like out of everything, I'm like, his little apartment cave doesn't look too messy for a Dark Lord, and he's got that little guardrail up to make sure no one just topples over. If you're gonna die, you don't want to do it in a silly way.
No,
don't want to be swibby.
Absolutely not.
Topple to your death. Yes, I really enjoyed that. And then the back and forth, all the, it's just.
Do you think it's interesting that when he goes into the water, he was previously wearing like a black short sleeve shirt. Then when he comes out, he wears like a long flowy white shirt.
I don't know. It's just bath towel. It's just like a bathrobe. He's coming out of the spa. He's putting the gown
Wash awaying his sins.
Don't think so.
Or trying to like prey on her Jedi.
Yeah.
Leanings.
Nah.
White clothing.
Just think it was just those clothes were dirty.
Were they though?
I mean, yeah, they would mess around in the mud and stuff I guess. In a forest. So Yeah, I mean, obviously we get a lot more play in towards like nothing he says is Sithy to me, if that makes sense. Like he's 120% dark side coded, and he's very adamant about his acceptance. And
I mean, he says the power of two is what he wants. So
yeah, but does he just want the power of two, as in the power of two, like literally?
I don't know.
You know, just I don't know. He didn't. He just like he's 100 like definitely dark sidey. Just again doesn't fully come across as Sithy. Talks about being a Jedi. That was an interesting tidbit, of course. Was a Jedi. Left. Discovered the dark side. How, what, when, why. The theory, or the internet's going theory, which I'm going to choose to say I don't agree with, is that based upon his scars and the fact that Vanessa Rowe has a whip saber, that she is his past master. Thoughts on this? This is the popular theory.
It's a very interesting scar because it's not like straight.
No,
like
that which is why people assume it's the whip.
If it was a Jedi attack, you would assume it would be some sort of clean.
No, and here's what I'm going to say no straight away. Well, people are like saying it's Vanessa because whip saber, she's sus in this episode, and he says he was stabbed in the back by his past, master, basically. I'm going to say several things. A, the show is very adamant on Jedi not attacking people from behind. B, Vanessa Rowe is one of the main characters and the only character in this series that's come from the books, and she's one of the main characters in the book series. Now, this is set sometime way down the timeline in where the High Republic books are set, and like she's not a Jedi Master in the book series. However, I just think having a sudden like, oh, she's actually evil would be weird, especially for people who have been following that character.
Maybe she had like a moment of weakness.
Something like that, sure. I also just think that structurally and like narratively, it would both annoy me, and I think this so far, even if I thought the dialogue at times is a bit hammy, I don't think like structurally the show has been bad at all. I think it would be structurally bad to have set up as Soul as carrying this massive secret, and he's the one we're so focused on, and then just suddenly have like introduce someone else who's carrying a big secret who you didn't at all think was part of the group, Yeah. You know what I mean? I just feel like I'm going to say, if anything, the saber looking like it's a whip and having her bring out her whip in this episode, which again is new information for people watching this who only have watched Star Wars show, and they're like, whip. But anyone who's aware of her character from previous things is well aware that she has a light whip. That's not new information. I think it's just a red herring. I don't think it's her.
Yeah, it's a misdirect, probably.
I think it's a misdirect, yeah. Now, I'm not happy to be proven wrong, but like if that happens, it happens. But I'm not. Yeah, I'm not buying into this theory at all. So,
do you think the Stranger could be somebody that's been introduced in the books already?
Nah, I think it's a brand new character.
Okay.
Now, Leslie Headland has two in her interviews in the week between last week's episode and this week's episode has been asked about the Kylo Ren music and said, "Aha, yes, that's exactly what's happening there." And then
we did that on purpose.
We did that on purpose. So
we intended to put the music in the episode, so we did.
Yeah. And wouldn't say anything more. So I just want to say that I'm still like this whole idea of him being the first knight of Ren or whatever. I'm still open to that. And the other thing she's said is that there will be 2 Sith in this episode. In this series. So if we're saying that the Stranger is 1, then the other going theory is that he has another master who maybe he's betrayed, left, something like that. Which maybe that's the person who stabbed him in the back.
Or maybe he's referring to his acolyte.
Well, yeah, that would be the third theory. I guess either May or Osha actually turns to the dark side by the end of the series properly, and you have 2. You actually have the acolyte.
Yeah.
Come fruition. I'm more leaning towards the latter than some big reveal of Darth Plagueis showing up finally in Star Wars canon or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you imagine this?
I cannot imagine them putting that character in anything full stop without it literally blowing up the internet.
Mm-hmm.
Is where I'm at currently. Like, just don't. I think just never. Probably.
Pure insight.
Yeah.
Pure insanity.
I just think just keep it to new characters. And then you got Sol and May up on the ship.
Mm-hmm.
When do you reckon he realized it was her?
When she asked about if he told her everything about whatever.
You reckon it was right then, not like he wasn't playing along for a bit? You reckon it was just right there?
I think it was there.
Okay.
I mean, it's hard to tell because, as was pointed out on the internet, she's got a massive spiral tattoo on her head.
She was covering it with her hair. Yeah.
Well, she just needs to flick it the right way at any point,
Yeah. So
it could have been when she didn't immediately go downstairs and start looking at the ship or offer to look at the ship because she's a mechanic. That sort of stuff.
Could be when she walks out with her droid.
Yeah.
Just treating it like a tool.
Can we say rip for Pip?
Rip for Pip. Yeah. She killed him.
Yeah, she factory did a reset on him.
Yeah.
Terrible. They'd be doing factory reset on R2-D2.
Yeah, it's crazy. They've never done that. Yeah. Oh, wait, they did. I the back and forth between them, I was a little bit like, okay, just hurry up and figure out it's her to a degree. Although I did enjoy
Basil
kicking her, stomping on her toes and stuff. That was good.
Yeah, and Pip got one last word in before.
Yep, because he knew.
He knew straight away.
Straight away knew. Like, this is full of shit. And then I honestly thought the episode was just going to end. I was like, holy shit, this is such a short. I mean, I only had 6 minutes after that, I think. But the moment where Sol's like, I've been thinking for 25 years what I would say to you. Now let me tell you a story. And I was like, okay, so this is just the fade out to the next week's episode. Yeah, but I mean, if we didn't think it was already going to be another flashback episode, it's 100% a flashback.
Oh, absolutely,
again, isn't it? Yeah, I mean, it was already set on that being the thing, but yeah, I don't think there's so much else. That's about it that happened this episode, right? Am I missing anything?
I guess the Jedi's, what's her name, coming to the planet and investigating and
that's part of why people reckon she's being sus. It's because she's like, no, I need to personally do this or whatever.
Well, she knew it was kind of bigger than
She did.
I mean, if a whole bunch of Jedi are murdered, I think you want to take the top people over as quickly as possible.
Well,
I don't think when a bunch of people are going to get killed by a bunch of moths,
No, I don't think it's sus when she's like, I need to personally look into this, because she's the one that sent them all there.
Mm-hmm.
I thought she was just taking ownership of it.
Ownership of what she did, yeah.
Hmm.
Sent all these people on the secret mission without the Jedi Council knowing.
Mm-hmm.
I need to clean up my mess.
Yeah.
Find out all the facts. It was cool, they got force, I don't know, recollection or sense of the battlefield or whatever. They could kind of tell what happened.
Yeah, I mean, I took her being able to get a better sense of it. Obviously, then she asked, I don't know if it's actually her Padawan, maybe, I don't know, but
former Padawan, you can tell. Used to be your assistant.
He's just like, oh, I can't believe that people are dead here. That's crazy. What do you reckon did it? Was it Sol?
Yeah. Did Sol turn on us and murder all these people?
Yeah. I mean, look, if next time I see her, Vanessa Rose, it seems Sol killed everyone, I'll be like, man, the internet was right. You are a bitch. I don't know. Yeah. You are trying to cover up you killing your own Padawan or something. Or you thinking you killed your own Padawan. I really like the episode's music, and I guess the final thing is just the end of the episode. Sorry, I was like, what am I missing here? Obviously, the stranger, cleans up his helmet or whatever he does to it. I don't really know. Fixes up his helmet.
Another thing it's cool about the design of the helmet, and they've obviously shown replicas that you can pre-order and that kind of stuff. Like there's like scarring on it the same way that his back's scarred. Like the veins all through it and that kind of thing. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
I'm like, is he just drawing that shit in?
Yeah.
I guess so. Got an artistic side.
You know. Had to add something other than just teeth.
Yeah, fair. I mean, that's breathing apparatus, surely.
I don't know.
No. But he explains that it works. It's not like, not only is it a, good helmet to use against lightsabers, as he says in Jedi, but he says it's similar to the helmets that they use, and we first saw in A New Hope that Luke tries out to practice using the Force, like it's a sensory deprivation helmet. So yeah, when he's inside that thing and he's battling everyone, he's literally just going off the Force. He's like Daredevil,
I guess.
Can't
How's he hearing Soul shouting questions at him though?
Well, I guess he can hear, right?
Yeah.
I just can't see anything, which I really like that.
You can see a little bit.
Yeah. I like that POV shot. When
POV and then the deep breaths from May.
Yeah.
I mean, pretty cool way to end the episode.
Foreshadowing or just?
I think so.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think we'll know a lot after next week's episode, which way things are going to pan out.
Yes, indeed. So yeah, next week, presumably flashback, but I guess it's from Soul's point of view.
Well, that's what we kind of assumed. We would get a retelling the events from the Jedi's point of view.
Yeah, which would make sense because we've seen that shot of old mate Wookiee using his lightsaber in the trailer. It's the only shot that remains at this point that we haven't seen. So, and then yeah, that means literally no shot from the trailer is left, and everything in the finale will be fresh, which makes sense. But yeah, it came for next week, came for the week after. I'm keen to watch more of it. It sucks, I don't think the episodes are too short, and like it's just like it's only too short in a way that I'm like, I'm enjoying this. I just want more. Like not in a. I don't think structurally the show is being developed badly. Is what I'd say. But you're allowed to be like, damn man, I wish that was. Why are they? It's so short. But just because you want to watch more, that's fun. All right, thank you for joining us this week on Acolyte Insights. Of course, you can find other great shows, podcasts on explosionnetwork.com. Follow us on Twitter, explosionnetwork.com/Twitter. Join our Discord, explosionnetwork.com/Discord. And until next week, make sure to keep your sensory deprivation helmets in good nick. Goodbye.